Sometimes the language, when it comes to this sort of thing, can appear like it's a little bit different. Non-duality as a couple of words are sort of hard to get your head around, in a sense. And words like words like liberation and wholeness and definitely the loss of self can sort of bring a little bit of mystique to this area, let's just say. And yet really at the core, though, of this is a very, very, very painfully ordinary, natural, just what is. And so in a sense, all the language of liberation and loss of self and all that, they all give the impression of things happening or appearing to happen or could happen or might happen. And I suppose we're talking about this, like sitting on a chair, a voice talking. That's the mystery. So it's not over there or a thing to happen or a becoming or a dropping away. We're talking about the painfully ordinary, just this voice, sensations in the body, thoughts, feelings, everything. And that's the mystery. But it would seem like this ordinary mystery, this what's appearing to happen, isn't a mystery really for most. It's sort of noble, like this is life, my life, I have it. And I'm trying to make the best I possibly can and do the best I possibly can to progress through it and find my way to a place, a resting place where the whole thing will just stop and there'll be a certain ease and wisdom, and there'll be a certain arriving point where it'll all be relaxed and lovely, and or whatever image is maybe sought after. And in those images sought, that can be throughout an apparent life, there can be anything from wealth to lovers to cars to whatever, you name it. And at the same time, somehow or another, let's just say, a stumbling upon a communication like this happens or appears to happen. And for whatever reason, it just seems to grab hold. And it seems like it cannot be then let go of. For a lot of people, upon hearing something like this, not even an eye would blink, and not even, in fact, it would be, it could be akin to paint drying in how it's heard. But for the unfortunate few, it just seems like it cannot be let go of. And I say unfortunate, you can say fortunate, say whatever, it doesn't really matter, but say for the few, it seems like it cannot be let go of, because if it could be let go of, it would be pretty easy to do if someone could let go of this sort of communication, because they would have said, they'd say to themselves, sure, I get this, I know it, I understand it. It's like 2 + 2 = 5, I get it. And in most instances, through knowing, we understand and we arrive. But for whatever reason, energetically speaking, this, it seems, cannot be let go of. And in a sense, really, it sort of exposes that everything is just energetically like that, that everything is just appearing to happen. All thoughts to the contrary of, I'm never going to listen to another one of these, I'm never going to do X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, or whatever, they all fall asunder. And then we simply just appear to then find ourselves together at something that we're calling a meeting, and it's apparently a meeting about non-duality. That's what the subject is. But I suppose what I would like to say is that what we're really talking about is just plainly this ordinariness. This sitting here is the stunning, outrageous, ridiculous, horrible, wonderful, joyous, terribly sad, happy, and or just simply plainly this ordinary sound of a voice. So and nothing needs to happen for there to be just hearing of a voice. But these sorts of gatherings, in a way, when there's beliefs and ideas held, it's a sort of a place for them, it seems, to throw them on in. If there's questions that are there, then there are questions there, and we've a lovely gathering here, so feel free to just jump on in and say whatever is there to be said, or ask whatever is there, or just, if you don't like speaking in these sorts of scenarios, then just put a comment in or send a direct message if that's even more preferable. So, and let's see what happens.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
So, I really don't have anything to say, but I just felt like expressing some energy or so, some words.
Okay.
But yeah, and now I do it, I feel a bit like, I don't know, but it just felt like I wanted to share some words, I guess, and just speak. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just energy, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
I
what's
feel
happening. Yeah, there isn't
I
even energy. There isn't a
no,
thing called energy.
no, I feel relief while speaking. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, I guess that's, I guess that's it for now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to say it's lovely to be with you even when there's nothing to say.
And likewise, nothing to say also.
Hi, Frank.
Oh yeah.
Does anything occur when you hear the comment, the me is the opiate of the masses?
Well, you could say it is a bit of a heroine, but nobody's being me. But it seems to be sort of like an energetic just loop of me. But it's just you sort of then you can give the impression that there's someone that's addicted to being a me, and that someone should drop a me then, and all that. It's just there isn't a me, you see. So all there is just what's appearing to happen, which on the face of it is just very straightforward and simple. So I think we'd love to sort of, say that the state of the world is down to me and all this sort of stuff. But I mean, like 7 billion me's going around holding the universe together and all that. But that's, in a sense, that's the total story. So what, like, really, see, it's so naturally just ordinary, just this now. And the temptation is always to jump into a story, or it's not a temptation, it's just way more it seems, I've heard people say that me is the greatest addiction, but me is addiction essentially. There isn't anyone that's addicted. It's just addiction appearing to happen. And this me is just a big ball of beliefs, wants, desires, needs, whatever, wrapped together by nothing. And so it's not like this rock solid thing.
Well, it's all foggy. It's all so foggy. Like when the person sent that, there was a sense that something was wrong. Like he felt, I have no idea what was going on over there. And actually the guy is pretty, well, who knows? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like it got so confusing, like that whole feeling that something is wrong, something is incorrect, something is bad, something is missing. I mean, what's the difference? Like, if someone, in many ways, they would think that this person is fairly clear. I mean, they would apparently seem like no one there. And then they're saying this. But who is saying something is something else, and is are bad things bad, and are like, I don't know, all of that feels so foggy to me these days, like to demonize anything, like and again, of course, there's no one doing that, it's just happening as well. But that's what the me is made up of, is positioning and good and bad, and and getting and pushing away, and again, that's just part of how the me is. But it's so confusing now. Like,
you see, really, this is nothing happening. just apparently saying, this is nothing appearing to happen, appearing as voice saying this is nothing appearing to happen. So it's inexplicable, right? It's this. And so there's no authority. There's no authority. There's no upper or lower. This is nothing to do with knowledge. So whatever anyone appears to be saying is absolutely and utterly irrelevant and meaningless. It's just what's appearing. So it may appear apparently clear or apparently, might appear like an uncompromising communication. So what? It might appear confusing and whatever. So what? In the end, it's utterly irrelevant because it's just all words, and it's all words trying to bind everything. And it seems like all the words, even this voice talking now, all the words make it seem like, well, he knows what he's saying. He knows what this is, even if he's saying this is nothing happening. He knows that. No, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know anything. So in a sense, really, all that idea of what anyone's saying, it's all irrelevant. But I mean, it can be curious as to, well, what did they mean by that? Or where were they coming from? But it's as meaningful or as anything else. In other words, totally meaningless and irrelevant. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anyone's saying or anyone appears to be saying. All of that sort of just collapses. So then there aren't authorities. There isn't speakers. There isn't people who know. There isn't any of that. There's just voices appearing to talk, and it appears like somehow this sort of communication is there. But what is this communication really saying? At the essence is that this is wonderfully and utterly, totally, completely unknowable. But also, unknowable is not then knowable as a thing. So all the words then, you could say, just fall asunder. And this mystery is just simply talking here. Just simply this talking. And what is this apparently talking? And, it's just funny. So it doesn't matter, you see, but also this sort of authority-less really is sort of threatening, because I think people really like authority. They like somebody who knows, or somebody who, even if they disagree, they like then to disagree with this apparent authority, because at least in the end, someone knows. It makes it all very safe. Such and such knows this. So no one knows anything. It's just appearing as knowing and knowledge and words and sentences. Doesn't matter. Thank you. You could say, in a sense, all the words, I think I was saying it at the very start, all these words and sentences give the impression of something other. And in a way, you could say the hearing about the loss of self, or hearing about liberation, or hearing it, let's just say that there is no self, they're sort of purposeless, I would say, but you could say, if you wanted to tell a story, there's almost like hooks. And these hooks seem to grab. Now, it's not the words, it's energetically, but it could be reading the sentence, or it could be anything at all. But let's say there are hooks and into this lion's mouth that's talked about, right? But the problem is the hooks are there's no hooks really, and there's no lion's mouth, and there's no you being brought in to any lion's mouth. There's just inescapably, fully and totally whatever is.
Hey, Frank. Can you hear me?
Hey,
okay?
how you doing? Yeah, I can, yeah.
I like your background.
Yeah,
First time seeing it.
there you go. It was debuted on Saturday night.
Oh,
Yeah, I like it too.
so what you and Mike, let's see. If nothing matters, what are you not saying? Are you saying that nothing matters, but everything does matter to no one in particular? And is the mystery that you're speaking of, as far as we can speak it, if it's only the appearance of what's happening, can that be explained on any level, either intellectually or spiritually?
Well, if it could be explained, we'd be back in words, and that it could then be bound by words and then understandable. And so then you're in a scenario where this could be written about and talked about, and logically you could get this. So what else were you saying, Ray?
I was saying that I think really my point before that, and I mixed up sentences, was that if everything's a story, I mean, I've heard many speakers say, wouldn't what is being shared here also a story?
Absolutely.
All right. He made my
All right. Absolutely. And saying it's a story is a story. So, and it can be nothing, no thing matters, or then everything matters. Or actually, there's just fully what there is. So, tying shoelaces on a shoe, whether it matters or it doesn't matter, it's what's appearing to happen. Thinking a thought about this is it, nothing matters, is thinking a thought that nothing matters. Thinking a thought that everything matters is that too. So there's just inescapably whatever is, and there's no one in there already. Sorry about that. Right.
Me too.
Sorry to disappoint you now. So then so there was never anyone there the entire time, apparently living a life, making choices, doing good.
But that goes on. Living
doing
life,
bad.
making choices goes on, correct?
Nothing happens. Exactly, nothing happens.
Right.
It's exactly the same. Before liberation, a dickhead. After liberation, a dickhead. So
you're talking to my wife?
talking about myself. So there's just then fully, nothing happens. There's never anyone in there doing anything. And so then it's the same, it's the exact same. You see, even if it's a fucking sliver, a sliver, then it seems like someone can go on and talk about this. But when it's nothing, 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 and nothing isn't a thing either. So nothing happens.
You said nothing isn't a thing. Is nothing?
Nothing
at
isn't
all?
a thing. Nothing isn't a thing. So it seems, I could be wrong, but I think nothing can be imagined as a grey and murky thing called nothing.
I see.
But nothing is nothing and is utterly unimaginable.
Yes.
Because it's nothing. Even the moment when nothing is trying to be imagined, it appears as something. So nothing happens because already there's no one in there. And I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that there now.
Frank.
I'm some bollocks, haven't I?
One more silly question. Probably, does this have any influence on your daily life? Running, I think you were running, eating, with your wife, with I think your kids, your dogs, or is that all just unfolding as it is unfolding?
There's just nothing happens, and there's just what's appearing then, however that is. Exactly the same there. Exactly the same. So I don't know how to do life. I don't know how to live a life. I don't know how to breathe, think, grow a tiny hair on my apparent arm. And I don't know how to make choices. I don't know how to get annoyed. I don't know how to shout. I don't know how to cry. I don't know how to do anything, but lots like that appear to happen.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's just what's happening. There's nothing happening. There's a message in. There's just what's happening. There's nothing happening. They seem to contradict each other. So there's just what's appearing to happen. So that's that's a sentence appearing to be said. Yeah, I suppose maybe it does appear like a contradiction.
Yeah.
But this here, they seem to contradict each other. They seem to contradict each other, yeah. So no, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. Sorry, Ray, I was responding to a message that came through to me.
No, it was clear. It was clear. My query was just about how, in words, okay, how you deal with the variety of things in life. Or are you saying they're just happening, correct?
No, I don't deal with them, but appearing to deal with them is what's happened. Or appearing to not deal with them very well is is probably more so how it is. So it's so totally ordinary. So how do you do anything? How do you do anything? How did you ask that question? It was just appearing to be asked. How did you think that thought? How did you, whatever? It's just what's happening. And without the story then of saying even there's just what's happening, you could say this is nothing happening, but it's full to the brim with the saying of that. Or you could remain utterly silent, but then it would seem like, oh, it's in the silence. It's not in the silence. It says everything, indivisible everything.
When you say everything, are you speaking metaphorically, or are you saying everything, you mean everything? Even
everything, that, including the thoughts. Everything's pretty big and pretty small, and it's also nothing. No thing and everything. Or gobbledygook and whatever. Potato cakes.
But when you say nothing, are you saying you're not dismissing the daily things that people do, whether they're passionate or uncompassionate? You know, that's not what you're saying. You're saying there is nothing, there's nobody in here, in Ray or in Frank, to do anything.
There isn't Ray and there isn't Frank. There's just bodies with apparent names. So there's table, Frank, earphones. So then really, forgetting all the words, what can be said is that there's just what's appearing to happen. And it's indivisible. It's full as those thoughts. It's full as hearing a voice. It's full as a screen, hands and whatever. Beautiful backgrounds.
But fullness, when you're saying fullness, you don't mean meaning or substance.
No.
Okay.
No, I suppose that it's energetically full, inescapably full as whatever is. So, in other words, it's full with the hearing of this voice and those thoughts just there, and hands and sensations in the body and visuals and whatever. It's fully alive as this. So what are we talking about though? We're talking about this now. This is apparently called now.
Thank you.
Thank you. You could say that this is empty and full to the brim with the hearing of a voice saying this is empty and full to the brim with the hearing of this. So it's this. And wherever you go, whatever you appear to do, it's this. And every thought, every feeling, every sensation, everything is this. So you never had a life. You never had anything. Because you're not there to have it.
So if I've never had a life, then I'll never have a death.
No.
Okay. Okay, like I understand.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it's just totally and utterly uncontrollably what is. And perhaps it can feel like it's controllable. And in a sense, it's like a child in a sort of a fake car going 50 million miles down the road and driving, pushing the gear stick, turning the wheel, looking out the window, going so fast that he's scared himself and nothing's happening. But there's nobody doing that, being scared. This is full as whatever is appearing. This is sort of like the theatre of dreams and nightmares. It's the only show in town. It's all there is. It's the movie. It's whatever you want to call it. Or it's just, there's just what's appearing to happen. But take a pick your pick your story, and that will, like, every inch is a sort of a story can appear to be told about it, from underneath the nail to the boundless apparent universe that's out there with all the stars. People will talk about anything essentially, but just plain old talking, this like. And this is the part that sort of draws a blank. And in a way, it's sort of like these sorts of conversations. I used to say it's like an interlude in the movie from years ago, where you'd sit and talk apparently about the movie during a little break and maybe get some more popcorn or whatever. No popcorn here though. But it's also just what's appearing to happen. And this meeting is as much significance as when the computer is turned off and it's talking to the wife or having a cup of coffee or going for a walk or whatever. That would be then what's happening. It is sort of, these are romantic words now, but it's sort of boundlessly loving as you, as everything, as every thought, every breath, every interaction, every but, everything.
Hi, Frank.
Oh yeah.
So it seems that, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but like a common reaction when this is heard is to try and sort of read between the lines or derive something from it.
Yeah.
Like you could watch these videos for years and then you watch the same video again and you're like, oh, it is just this, but it's always kind of being covered up by just this constant attempt to draw meaning from the words. Why is that? Because I've heard speakers say that what is really sought after is just this, and yet you hear these words, but it's like they can't be heard until they're heard, in a way.
So there's no Emily in there that can hear anything. So you never heard a thing, sorry to say, Emily, but hearing appears to happen, and not hearing or whatever, and it's irrelevant. So seeking appears to happen. Apparently watching videos, I could talk about that too, appears to happen, but also, and it would seem like, oh, it's watching the same video, I'm watching the same video again. But actually it's anew and never the same. Even if the feeling is I know this part, I'll fast forward, or I like the end bit, or whatever. That would be what's happening. It's so dreadfully ordinary as whatever is. So so you never heard a thing, and you'll never hear a thing.
Yeah.
You've never spoken, but somehow saying yes happens. Isn't that fucking mental?
It's quite funny, really, isn't it? All of it.
It's fucked up, all right.
I don't know what I watched of you, but you were saying, could we all just... I think you were actually talking about The Crown with Tony Parsons, and you said, could we all just do a little wink?
Yeah. It's sort of like that, yeah. That's exactly. So can we? Okay, I know we're all angry and annoyed, or we're all or whatever, or doing whatever, but can we just go just for a moment? Can we just go? I don't know. No, do you? Fuck. Yeah, it's kind of like that, isn't it? Like, though, it's much ado about nothing, and the world goes around being everybody's deathly serious, and all the games and all the authorities and all the knowing and knowledge and all that. So rah 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 rah.
It's funny you say this can be like watching paint dry. Yeah, I think all of that is like watching paint dry. That
Yeah,
explanation for everything. It's just gets so... It's like a broken record of people knowing things and people saying things and fighting over it.
yeah. I think you can sort of reach a point where I think it just depends, though. But the world is insane, you could say sometimes, and you can unplug from it. I think we're, in terms of the stories of life, there's a gazillion of them, a gazillion. And there seems to be certain shared stories, and it's like boundless stories, like, everywhere. It's a house of cards held together by nothing. And the end is just what is, or it's just what's appearing. So then, it's like 10 minutes later, suddenly getting annoyed at the TV about something. It's not like there's someone then who can be once removed who'll go, okay, I'm going to stand apart from it all. You know what I mean? It's not like that either. It's sort of, sometimes it can feel like, can we not just have a wink? And sometimes it can be blowing the fucking horn, sometimes frustrated, sometimes whatever. It's fully just alive as everything. But the world's nuts. I'd agree with that. Like, fucking nuts.
I went out the other night and I was chatting to someone new from work, and I just sort of like went on a rant about politics, like
Yeah.
for ages, and I sort of like his reaction was just making me laugh, and he was like, "Oh, you're really passionate about this, aren't you?" And I was like, "No, I don't give a shit."
Yeah, and actually,
But yeah,
that's
I had all of that to say.
no, I know that totally. It is totally like that. It's like, and then somebody would say something else. You go, right, didn't think that. Yeah, okay. I couldn't give a fuck. I know what was going on and on there. It appears like I give a fuck, but it's a load of hot air. No, I don't care. It's gone. Like, what did I even say? And it's like that. It's just rah, 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 rah. And then, all right, yeah. Okay. It's like at the very start there, you know, Nick or somebody wanting to appear to say something. It was just like, it's just hot air. Like, it's just wanting to talk, or that's what's happening. And then it's just appearing to get annoyed about politics, but it's not, there's no investment in it. Then it can be, you know, it can be like that the investment in it. It's just that it's not being held together by someone who is defending a position. And then it's sort of, you'd say, you know, different maybe, but should be, Jesus. Siri, sorry, 1 second. Somehow.
Yes.
Fucking Siri talking to me. Does that come through on the computer? No.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh. Would you fuck right off? Siri, you shouldn't talk to the computer like that, should I? Fucking hell. It's it's not having a perspective, but a perspective appears to be shared or given, and a strong position can appear to be taken, but no one's doing that then. And it's sort of done then, if you know what I mean. It's sort of just what's appearing to happen.
I forget that. Oh, that's just a story. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
that. It's just a load of rubbish.
But saying it's a story is just a story. But so what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, I forget that other people have that investment when they're talking, and then I'll say something that's like a sort of jarring perspective, and then I forget that that has a result still, that there is still investment in it either way, if that makes sense. I just forget. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, that's just what's happening. You know, forgetting and remembering and whatever else. And like there isn't anyone has anything. It just appears like that, and appears then offense is taken, appears like some things can be quite confronting then. And then when even greeted with, well, I don't really care, anyway, it doesn't matter, that's also can be confronting. But you know, it doesn't, then 10 seconds later somebody could call you a fucking whatever, and there might be a reaction to that, you know, might be hurt, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
So that would be also, that's, the mystery is everything, feeling hurt. It's kind of like, and hurt badly, let's just say, and that would be fully what it is. That's also this outrageous mystery, feeling hurt and feeling annoyed, and then then it's shouting at the TV for the rugby.
Cheers, Frank.
Thank you. If a message in here, it says lots of speakers talk and write about our true nature. Is there a true nature? No, there isn't a true nor a nature. There's just what's appearing to happen, and all that story. And it sounds lovely too, though. I'm going to get in touch with my true nature. How do you get in touch? How do you grow a hair on your arm? The mind get in touch with your true nature, and it's always like a thing to become. And it sounds lovely, your true nature, but it's another story, unfortunately. Nothing but bad news. Oh. The terrible man, really. Sure luck. If all this is a mystery, are we not also a mystery? Yeah. And saying it's a mystery is a mystery.
Frank, when we say about the interlude, I suppose the imagination is that Frank lives in the interlude the whole time, and I want that. But that again is just an imagination, right?
Yeah, no, it's more a reference to these sorts of gatherings, these sorts of meetings, as opposed to Frank living in any interlude. Frank doesn't live in anything, nor does Emily. There isn't Frank or Emily, there's just what's appearing to happen, however that is. So it isn't a state of, it's full on living, including everything, including the shit bits, the thoughts, everything.
So there's really no difference.
No, at all. Sure, that's what I've been saying. Emily. Nothing happens. It's everybody else who knows about everything else. They know what life is. They know about everything. They know who they are, where they're going. They know about falling away. All that. It's total sort of innocence, really. You know, do you know what I mean? It's like innocence about what the fuck do you mean by about innocence? I don't mean anything by innocence either. So you have to mean something that you're saying. No, I don't. It's totally irresponsible then. But then within that, it seems like, it's the language can be similar. So then it can seem like, well, such and such speaks this way, he knows, and then such and such speaks in a way, then he must know. No, really, all the while, is that nothing is known. There's no difference whatsoever. Nothing at all.
And that's not some sort of constant state of not knowing. It's just
No. It's exactly just this now talking here. So what do you say about this, Emily? There's something coming out of my trapdoor about this. Apart from saying there's nothing coming out of my trapdoor about this.
Hmm.
Juan, what's that big butt? What's that big butt of disappointment? Come on, let's go.
If it wasn't something different, then why are we talking about it?
Yeah. What you can say is talking about this is what's appearing to happen. But exactly, why would there be a website? Why would it be apparently a book? Why on earth would anyone, why would there be anything to say at all? At all. And if there was someone who could fucking control the whole thing, definitely that would be the case. But it's just the appearing to talk about this, appearing to seek, appearing for that to stop, appearing to, there's just what's appearing to happen. So that's sort of I remember that fucking clearly going, why would anyone have a website? Why is there such a thing as the open secret? Why would somebody come out there and give the impression they know something, even if they're saying they don't know? Why would they go out and say that? No, it's just what's happening. And really at the very, very core, then it's like this, it seems to be, like I think I was saying, it's like all of these words appear like, now no one's doing anything, but they appear like, it's not like you purposefully sit down and go and talk in a certain way or write words in a certain way, but it's what's appearing to happen. And they all sort of come together like a hook almost, and energetically drawn to it. And it's like, if you want to use old analogies, it's like the head in the lion's mouth, except when the whole thing falls apart, there isn't a bloody lion's mouth, and there isn't liberation, and there isn't you seeking. There's just what's appearing to happen. All the rest is a story. So then, I don't know, then. So say there's suddenly a website and appearing to talk about this. Then Emily appearing to talk about this. That would be what's happening. It's the exact same then as seeking or asking questions. It's just that we get caught in an idea of seeking and finding and talking then. And no, it's just what's appearing to happen. And it's as relevant as drinking tea and eating a biscuit and chatting at the rugby. Or drinking a pint.
Yeah, I've failed to respond because it's just nothing.
Yeah.
But no, but just yeah.
Really, all there is what's appearing to happen, and you can't have it or not have it. You can't have that. You can't have what's appearing to happen. It's just what's appearing to happen. That's then apparently totally immersed in feeling. I'm feeling like I had it there and I've lost it. It is that. It is then the seeking, and then it's because it is just simply as everything. You never did a thing. And you're not thinking that thought there now, and you're not going to say but either, and you didn't laugh. But laughing appeared to happen. Holy fuck, eh? Saying holy fuck appeared to happen. And fucking saying appeared to happen, appeared to fucking happen. So oh, including the thoughts. Everything.
Not the fucking thoughts. God damn.
Not the fucking
Not these
thoughts.
stupid old thoughts.
And the thoughts. Yeah, everything and the thoughts.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's surely the difference is that you, this message here, surely the difference is that you can say that there is no me, and here it is believed there is a me. Well, if it is believed that there is a me, then that's what's being believed. And I can't say that there's no me, but it seems like that is something that comes out of my mouth, and it's as relevant as saying there is a me. What you going to do about that? What you going to do about that there now? So nothing makes sense then. Nothing makes sense. No. No. And saying nothing makes sense doesn't make sense either. Nothing solid, nothing real, nowhere to hang your hat, no sea floor to put that anchor on, no authority, nobody to tuck you in at night. Totally unsafe, and also just sitting and hearing a voice talking and looking at a bald fucking Irishman. And on that note, I'm going to go downstairs and get something to eat. So thank you all very much for a lovely meeting. You all rock and roll, and that was lovely. So
Thanks, Frank.
thank you all. Take it easy.
Bye, Frank.
Thank
Take
you.
it.
Frank, lovely.
Take it.